I don't understand? I'm going to talk about it right now. I get the views. I get a lot of them. But I don't get the likes. Like if you spend that much time to watch the video and then you don't hit the like button, what's going on? Come on now. Pull yourself together. If you're going to watch it, like it. Get busy. You got things to do. Hit that button. You know what I don't understand? I'm going to talk about it right now. I get
these niggas come in your chat. They won't even hit the like button because you all are a bunch of motherfucking haters. Bitch, it don't cause you shit not only to be over here, it don't cause you shit to hit the like button. But double fuck you motherfuckers in real life. Huh? Yes, that won't hit the like button. This is for you motherfuckers. Bitch, hit the like button. Don't hit the like button. Fuck you motherfuckers. In real life. You hear this? Look, bitches. You don't hit the like button. Fuck you motherfuckers. And thank you for the view, bitches. These niggas come in your chat. They won't even hit the like button because you all are a bunch of motherfucking haters. Bitch, it don't cause you shit not only to be over here, it don't cause you shit to hit the like button. But double fuck you motherfuckers in real life. Huh? Yes, that won't hit the like button. This is for you motherfuckers. Bitch, hit the like button. Don't hit the like button. Fuck you motherfuckers. In real life. You hear this? Look, bitches. You don't hit the like button. Fuck you motherfuckers. And thank you for the view, bitches.
Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Christian One. Welcome to another fabulous rendition of Chat with Your Boy. So I'm gonna see if you guys can hear me. Where am I? Okay, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Am I live? Am I live? Turn this up. Can you hear me? Yep, y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. All right. It's your boy. How y'all doing? I'm living swell. Got a great show today. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this with your friends, family, as well as your followers. All right. Get at me on all my other social media platforms as well. The description to the links will be down below. All right. So let's get into today's topic, shall we? Let's get into today's topic. First order of business is what's going on with Chad Johnson and Cameron. A lot of stuff has been going down with Chad Johnson and Cameron, and then kind of spilled over to Cameron and Jim Jones, even though I think Charlamagne the God was being a little messy on that. But nevertheless, let's get into today's topic. So basically, Chad Johnson went on Stephen A. Smith's platform, basically talked about sharing a too much informational story about him enhancing his woodpecker, right? Pause. His beans and franks. Pause. You get the gist of what I'm trying to tell you guys. So basically, Stephen A. Smith had that look on his face like, man, this is not what I signed up for, man. This is way too much information. But anyway, hey, if you want to share it, okay, if you like it, I love it. All right, whatever. So it got back to Cameron and Mace platform. It is what it is. First and foremost, it is what it is. It's doing mad numbers, doing mad numbers. Okay. Got back to Cameron and Mace. Stat Baby is the moderator over there. She introduced the story, and she wanted Cameron and Mace to basically add any more content to the story. Mace sort of just said, hey, you know, whatever. But it just seemed like Cameron took the opportunity to talk about his displeasure with Chad Johnson or Chad Ochocinco, however y'all want to label Chad Johnson. I call him Chad Johnson. You know, you guys call him Chad Ochocinco, whatever. So basically, Cameron talked about his displeasure with Chad Johnson, basically displaying a story. And I remember him talking about this, I think it's like 3-4 years, maybe 3 years ago, in the beginning stages of It Is What It Is. You know, Cameron Mace, you know, let the world know that they wanted to do a sports talk show. It started off funded by Cameron and Mace. They got it out the mud. They got it out the hustle. You know, there was a lot of people in the sports entertainment media that wasn't, you know, that thought that this was going to be a fad. They didn't take it too seriously. However you want to label it. Cameron, you know, they started it out. They started from the bottom. Now they're here. And they talked about Cameron talked about a time he was trying to recruit Chad Johnson. And at that particular time, Chad Johnson was bouncing from network to network. I think his most longevity when you're talking about a network was with ESPN2. He did, you know, he had a good stint with ESPN2. He was, you know, here and there with the NFL Network. He was here and there with Fox Sports 1. And, you know, Cameron, you know, as well as, you know, Chad Johnson on the reality TV front, he was with his fiance at the time. Now they're no longer together. And he was doing his spin there, you know, with her storyline in reality TV. So when Cameron came up to Chad Johnson, he basically said, hey, look, we're coming up with this concept. We thought that maybe you want to contribute to this concept, to It Is What It Is. Chad Johnson basically low key turned it down. Basically, well, he either low key turned it down or he was semi interested in it. Basically told Cameron he needed to talk to his agent. And Cameron was going like, well, wait a minute, I'm talking to you. Why can't me and you do, you know, why can't we talk about it? Now, to me, at that particular time, and I'm stepping towards Chad Johnson. If he wasn't that serious, you didn't believe in the project, then maybe you could have been a little bit more professional and saying, hey, look, I appreciate the opportunity, but, you know, I don't think that's going to be for me. And, you know, wash your hands of it. You know, Cameron would have said, okay, you know, at least you're being respectable. At least you're, you know, acknowledging that you know, this may not be for you. And then y'all go y'all separate ways. Maybe at some other point when Cameron and Mace prove it is what it is, which it is what it is, you know, is a good platform, which it's a great platform. It's doing crazy numbers. All right. But, you know, maybe if Chad Johnson wanted to, you know, go back to that platform, say, hey, look, I was wrong about it. You know, you saw the vision before I did, you know, something like that. You know, Cameron would have probably entertained him coming back to It Is What It Is, not as a contributor, but, you know, someone that want to come on the show, you know, and just talk, you know, just chop it up. All right. But Cameron took that as a disrespectful, he took that as a diss. Either Cameron thought that Chad Johnson didn't think that this was serious enough. And then what made matters worse, after the success of It Is What It Is, Chad Johnson took to social media and said, hey, look, I'm going to do, I'm, you know, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it even better than what Cameron and Mace is doing. All right. And Cameron and Mace took that as a disrespectful, manner because they're looking at it like this. We just now started it. First of all, we gave you an opportunity to join us. All right. And then now since we have proven ourselves, now you're pitting us against you when technically, you're not trying to, you don't want no competition with Fox Sports 1, ESPN, the NFL Network, Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, Marcellus Wiley. A lot of these guys are now, Jason Whitlock. A lot of these guys are going to YouTube instead of trying to link up to some big time network. Some of these guys, like Stephen A. Smith, Cam Newton, Stephen A. Smith, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, they're doing both. They're doing the network and they're doing their own thing on their YouTube channel. And Cameron and Mace is looking at it like, yo, you're not pitting yourself against those cats. You're not, saying that you want to be better than ESPN and Fox. You're not saying that you want to be better than Cam Newton and Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith. You coming directly to the source. You're coming directly at us. All right. So they took it at that. They even took that as disrespect. All right. So you have to understand Cameron's point of view, why he is still bitter or upset with Chad Johnson. And to be perfect, and he said some things about Chad Johnson on their show. He got back to Nightcap. Chad Johnson responded by saying, "Hey, look, I'm outside. You can catch me outside. I'm coming to your hometown, Harlem. You know where I eat at. I'm going to this restaurant. Here's the Addy. I mean, if I love you guys, but hey, if you want to, settle this, in discussions or in a different way, this is where I'm going to be at." I felt like Chad Johnson should have been the bigger person and, said, "Hey, look, to each his own. Maybe, y'all didn't like me discussing that topic with Stephen A. Smith. And maybe you took it the wrong way, Cameron, when I said, hey, thanks, but, I don't want to do that. If you took that as disrespect, he should have, maybe should have apologized or smooth things over, and when you're dealing with egos, massive egos like Cameron, Chad Johnson, you're probably not going to get that approach from either or. All right. So, got back to Cameron. Cameron basically said, basically called Chad Johnson, he assaults women. All right. He talked about the story of Chad Johnson getting into a dispute with another female that he was involved in, and this was years back. And I really think that incident pretty much stopped his career as a professional football player. He got relieved of his duties with the Miami Dolphins, and he could never get back on another team. He did have some time with New England, but other than that, it was pretty much over for Chad Johnson as a professional athlete. And then he was getting older as well. Couldn't lock on to life after football, maybe as an assistant coach, or maybe be a college coach, or a lower level college coach. He didn't get those opportunities. Like I said earlier in this presentation, he was bouncing around from network to network, couldn't really get into where he could fit in. And luckily Shannon Sharp threw a life preserver to Chad Johnson, because if Shannon Sharp didn't give him the opportunity to not only do Nightcap, but he's also a partner to Nightcap. Nightcap is owned and operated not only with Shannon Sharp, but with Chad Johnson. If, Shannon Sharp didn't throw that life preserver out there, Chad Johnson will be floating around right about now. Okay. And it kind of reminds me of when, Shannon Sharp did him a solid. But it also kind of reminds me because I feel like Shannon Sharp sees a lot of him in Chad Johnson when Shannon Sharp was floating around. After his incident with CBS Sports let go of Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp was floating around like similar to Chad Johnson. He was, on Fox at one point, was on NFL Network, was on ESPN, but he just couldn't get into where he fit in because of his little situation with CBS Sports that no network wanted to touch him. And at that particular time, YouTube wasn't in the eyes of these social media, these sports influencers at that time. All right. He did try to do Twitch. Shannon Sharp did try to do Twitch. But if it wasn't for Skip Bayless throwing Shannon Sharp a lifeline to join him on his new show, Undisputed on Fox Sports 1, Shannon Sharp will be floating around. Who knows? Maybe we don't get this version of Shannon Sharp that we're getting right now. Okay. So fast forward to today, if Shannon Sharp didn't give Chad Johnson the opportunity, who knows what Chad Johnson will be doing right now. All right. So back to this story. I don't know what Chad Johnson is going to say as far as, is he going to give Cameron the same response that he gave Cameron the last time till we get to this point, or will cooler heads prevail? Egos are being massaged, and maybe Chad Johnson get a second opportunity to make to be professional, saying, "Hey, look, I didn't mean nothing behind it. If you took it like I was trying to call you out or trying to, say that, we could get physical with this. Look, I was just trying to, meet up with you." And I think ultimately Chad Johnson wanted to meet up with Cameron, and maybe they collaborate. He does an interview for Chad Johnson. Chad Johnson do an interview with Cameron, similar to what Shannon Sharp did with Mike Epps 2 years back on Super Bowl weekend, or the NBA All-Star week. I seem to forget, but Mike Epps had an issue with Shannon Sharp with the Cat Williams interview, and that ended up like a social media tussle. And when the two met up, and maybe they planned and orchestrated this in the background and none of us knew about it, but when they met up, Mike Epps was on Club Shay Shay. Okay. So maybe Chad Johnson saw an opportunity there, like, hey, if I can meet up with Cameron, we can just squash our differences, and maybe I can do some content with It Is What It Is, and Cameron or It Is What It Is can do some content with Nightcap. We should work together instead of divide and conquer. But maybe that was playing in the background of Chad Johnson's thought process, and maybe Chad Johnson didn't orchestrate it the best way. So yeah, so that's pretty much it on that topic. If anybody comes in, they want to talk about it, fine and dandy. Matter of fact, let me look at my comments, man. I haven't been on the comment front in a minute. Okay. All right. So yeah, just comment below. Also, just taking the time out. You don't necessarily have to do this, but if you want to super chat me, I got different ways you can do it. Okay, $1 for a shout out. $2. No, super chat me, $1 for a shout out. $2 you can ask me a question of anything, long as it's not, weird. $5 for promotion, and 10 or more for just the love for the game. You can still comment, you can still ask me a question on those things. But yeah. So I'm moving on. I'm moving on from that. And then this Cameron and Jim Jones thing, I think that was Charlemagne the God being a little messy, because Cameron is, is out there with his issues with Chad Johnson. Cameron talking about he wants to box Jim Jones, you know, and wanted Floyd Mayweather to support a celebrity boxing event with Jim Jones and Cameron. I don't think that's going to happen. Not because Cameron is scared of Jim Jones or Jim Jones is scared of Cameron. It's just, when you look at it, it sounds kind of desperate to me. It sounds like Jim Jones want to make some money off of this. And, maybe Jim Jones will entertain this, but I don't think Cameron's going to entertain it. One, Cameron's not a boxer. And two, Cameron is coming from a place that he doesn't need all this press. He doesn't need all this clout. I mean, he's where he is with the it is what it is situation. So Cameron, he's not gonna entertain this. And Jim Jones either knows or trying to, get some buzz. Jim Jones got an album out. He's doing podcast interviews. So Jim Jones probably looking at it as an opportunity to make some money, or Jim Jones probably know Cameron ain't gonna deal with this. All right, so yeah, that's it on that. All right, moving on. We're gonna be moving on to Shrek 5. I didn't even know that there is a Shrek 5. Okay, I didn't even know it was a Shrek 5. Okay, I've seen the first Shrek, I seen the second Shrek, but this thing right here is wild, dude. I mean, to make it this far to Shrek 5 is crazy. But yeah, let me do something real fast, real quick. I'll be right back. Be right back. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get something to drink, but yeah, I'll get something to drink later. All right. So where were we? Okay. Zendaya is joining Shrek 5. All right. Now, Shrek, if you're not familiar with Shrek, it's an animated movie with Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz. I'm pretty sure it has other people on it, and now Zendaya is going to play, I guess, the daughter of, Eddie Murphy's character, not Eddie Murphy's, Mike Meyer as Shrek, and Cameron Diaz as Shrek's wife, I guess they had a daughter or something. I can't keep up with this stuff. I can't keep up with this stuff. Is there a way I can now? You know what? I'm not even going to. I would do a side by side and show the trailer, but I'm not getting involved with that because one, when I did a review on Drake's album, I'm still it's still being recommended by YouTube, but I'm sharing the revenue, which I wasn't gonna get a lot of revenue anyway, with UMG. So I mean, I appreciate that from UMG. I guess they're looking at it from a standpoint of, hey, he's reviewing the album. Let's not totally screw him over. At least he's promoting the album somewhat. So yeah. Anyway, back to this. Okay, so what I think? Jesus. I don't really follow these. There's only like if it catches my eye, if it's something new, I probably would watch it. The Elements, that was another animated thing. I haven't even watched that yet. I was interested in watching it, but I haven't watched it yet. All right. So I'm not into this anime stuff. This animation. I shouldn't say animation stuff. I'm pretty sure it's going to do crazy numbers. The last Shrek I saw was 2. I haven't even seen the other iterations of Shrek. I'm pretty sure this is an IP that generates billions of dollars. It's a great IP. You got some major sluggers in this that's involved in this movie. You got, I think, DreamWorks. You got Mike Myers, who's a legend. You got Eddie Murphy, he's an icon. Cameron Diaz is an icon, and now you got Zendaya. She's been making a huge name for herself, even ever since the days of the Disney Channel. She's like one of those Disney actresses that has gotten better. With her craft. Has just gotten better and better and better. She's not a one-hit wonder. And it's projects like this that get her out. Like when you compare her to the other actors and actresses of the Disney network, not so much. And not generating the type of buzz Zendaya is doing. She's in the Spider-Man property. She's doing Dune. I haven't even seen Dune 1. All right. Heard it's a good movie. I don't know. All right. I might see it during the summer. I don't know. I don't feel like that's going to be my type of movie. But nevertheless, Zendaya has been doing some great things, as far as, the type of movies she has been involved in. She hasn't missed a beat with the type of movies that she's been involved in. And I feel like Shrek, that's a safe IP. You can't screw around. You can't screw around saying that was a bad decision to be involved in that type of IP. That's a big, large IP. All right. So it's going to generate a lot of noise for her. It's going to even build on her portfolio. Everybody's gonna make a ton of money off this. I wish them the best of luck. Yeah. So that's all I got with that. That's really all I got for that. And I'm gonna take time out to check out the internet world. Let me see. Let's check out some things in the internet front. What's trending? iPhone 16e. Meet the iPhone 6e, the latest iPhone at a greater price. Okay. Gene Hackman has been trending. I don't want to get into that. We just talked about Shrek Let me see. Oh, and before I forget, we're gonna talk about Captain America: Brave New World. It's it didn't do the numbers a lot of people thought it was going to do. Um, when this was first announced, I didn't think it was going to do Marvel type numbers. I think it was going, it was going to have its day in the sun, particularly if it's the only hot thing coming out at that particular time frame. Because you have to look at it, even though they got a major name like Harrison Ford. I mean, let's just face facts and face reality. Harrison Ford ain't as big as what he used to be in the 80s and in the 90s. All right. You get what you get with Harrison Ford. The Anthony Mackie, he's been doing his thing in the Marvel Universe. He's also has transitioned from the Marvel Universe to oh my god, I just had it in my head. That racing game. Shit, I don't forgot the name of that racing game. I don't even want to look it up. Twisted Metal. The Twisted Metal TV show that's on the Peacock. He's doing good with that. He also has been in movies here and there. Um, but let's just face fact: Anthony Mackie isn't a big time name. That's box office. Um, I don't know the latest numbers to Captain America: Brave New World, but you have to face facts and face reality. The reason why they made the money that they made, which by the way, in its first weekend, it done made its budget, meaning the movie made enough to cover the budget, and everything else after that is going to be profit for Marvel. Captain America: Brave New World is basically on the backs of the Marvel IP. Captain America, that's a recognizable name. Red Hulk, just Hulk alone is a recognizable name. Um, there is some other characters in the Marvel universe that's in this movie, but I'm not going to say if I'm not going to spoil people. But people, diehard comic book fans may know of them, but casual comic book fans may not. Okay, but it's a Marvel IP. It's going to do the numbers. Okay, uh, would have done better numbers if they would have had the actor who originally played Captain America. It probably would have done more. Okay, or if they introduced a new Captain America, an unnamed actor, that hasn't, that's just new to the scene. I don't know. I don't, I think it did what it did for what it had. All right. And when I heard about Captain America: Brave New World, I looked at it from the standpoint of this is going to be the introduction to the next phase. This is the introduction to the Fantastic Four, the Thunderbolts, the next phase of the Avengers. All right. So it's like an introduction to that state. I didn't consider it, it had to do crazy numbers. All right. I feel like it's an introduction to the new chapter, but it's not a whole entire chapter. So that's what I took from it. You guys may put more sauce on it. To me, I look at it as, look, it did what it did. Right. So yeah. Okay then. So let's get into this. We got another new iPhone. Okay. The new iPhone 16e is built with Apple Intelligence powered by the A18, the latest generational chip that comes with a 48 MP fusion camera, dual design, super size battery life, which is good because now You can do way more in a single charge. Oh, they got okay. See what they don't move the function. Some of the functions on the side of the camera. They got you can do the camera, you can do your flashlight, you can do um, silence mode. You can do I guess you can do a multi function of everything with this. Um, Apple said they will release the iPhone 16e for about $599, but are we really sure they are not trying to just okay, look, to me, when I hear about this, man, when I hear about this, look, it is what it is. I think you can, I look at it like this. I skip a generation. Like, I got 15. I'm probably not going to entertain the 16. So I'm going to wait until like maybe the 17 or the 18 to swap cameras. I mean, swap phones. That's how I look at it. I don't think Apple does anything intriguing or it separates itself from the previous iPhone. You have to wait like 2 or 3 iterations of the iPhone before you think about buying another iPhone. But if you're one of them type of people that's got to have the latest thing every single year, then fine, by all means, spend another $1,000 on another iPhone, which you probably haven't even finished paying off your last iPhone. All right, so yeah, that's how I look at it. All right, so you look at it any way you want to. That's how I look at it. All right. So let's look at sports topics. Will Smith is trending on sports. I don't get that. Will Smith revealed. Oh, he revealed Bad Boys Ride or Die. Oh man, this is old. I don't know what's going on with this. This is just a bunch of stuff that Will Smith did. I don't understand why we're talking about Will Smith in sports, but hey, whatever. And the NBA doing this thing. Zion Williams lost like 15 pounds. Really, not a lot going on in sports or in entertainment. We can talk about we can talk about all right, we can talk about and thanks for those likes. Thanks for those likes. I really do appreciate the likes. We can talk about I take time out to talk a smidge about politics. I don't talk a lot about politics. Trump and Elon Musk reconfiguring a lot of things that are the government with the FBI, with USDA, downsizing it. Now, Trump feels, Elon Musk feels like we're wasting too much money with a lot of hires, with a lot of things that we practice on. And look, I think it's effed up to me for anyone to lose a job. It's never a good way to lay someone off. All right. But the tactics Elon and Trump are making, particularly with the USDA, is kind of tacky and kind of foul. All right. With the email debacle, how they just approach the matter in general, it's like they're bullying their way. I think there's a right and a wrong way of doing something that has to be done. And I think they sometimes I think they walk a tightrope and sometimes they spill over to the wrong way just a little bit. That's, I felt like if you wanted to reduce the staff of the USDA, that's one thing. If you want to make it run, you feel like it's going to run more efficient with less people, fine. Maybe they overhired, okay? And that's hard in itself because nobody wants to get fired. Nobody wants to get laid off, okay? Now, they did offer them packages like retirement packages where they're going to give them money and this, that, and the third, and that kind of softens the blow. But still, at the end of the day, these are human beings that are losing their jobs. And even though we're on the outside looking in saying, well, hey, you got to do what you got to do. Trump said that we're spending way too much money. We got money. We're not supposed to be doing this. We got to be a little bit leaner. We got to trim the fat and all that, yada, yada, yada. But imagine yourself in those shoes. And you've been at the FBI or the USDA for a long time. Like, let's say you put in 5 years in it, or maybe 10 years in it. And then you get an email saying, hey, we're going to try to trim some of y'all, we're going to let go a lot of you people. Maybe you'll be qualified for a package where we'll buy you out or whatever. If you was in that position, and what I hear is a great job, it's a great opportunity. But if you was in that position, you'll probably be feeling the same way. Just, if not a lot, just a little bit, you'll feel a certain way. All right. So I understand what Trump is doing, and I understand from a standpoint of what because Elon Musk is no stranger to this. Because when he bought Twitter, he changed it to X, and he just gutted that company. He felt like that company was hemorrhaging money by the amount of people that they hired. So Elon Musk is no stranger to this. All right. Is X better than? Is it better now? I don't think it's better now, but ask yourself this. I mean, I think when it was Twitter, I could see some shiny moments in it. But as far as X go, you got less staff there, meaning it's going to be more chaos on social media. Hey, whatever. All right. You like it, I love it. All right. I have no issues with it. All right. But to me, I can understand why people have a disdain for Elon and Trump, is because from the outside looking in, it's almost like they bullying these people to make a choice they don't want to make. But hey, it is what it is. He's the president. He appointed Elon Musk, and I mean, what can you do? I guess you can take it to court, but what can you really do? Right? So, yeah. All right. So, what else? I mean, I would like for you guys to just comment down below. Just tell me things you want to talk about. Because now we at the point we done wasted. We're almost at the hour mark. And yeah, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break. 2-minute break. All right. And let me see. Alrighty. And let's go down here. Right here.
You know what I don't understand?
Y'all check this out for a minute.
I'm going to talk about it right now. I get the views. I get a lot of them. But I don't get the likes. Like, if you spend that much time to watch the video and then you don't hit the like button, What's going on? Come on now. Pull yourself together. If you're going to watch it, like it. Get busy. You got things to do. Hit that button.
Oh shit. Oh, 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 oh. Give me a second here. Damn, messed that up. Where were we? Oh, excuse me. All right. All right. Okay, we back. We back. I forgot to put the loop on there, dude. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. All right. All right. So I'm gonna pull that one out. I'm gonna get rid of that one. And let's see what's going on the interwebs. Uh see what's going on the interwebs. So what are we doing right here? Go trending. We talked about the iPhone. What's this? What's this? Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about the Epstein reports. I'm not. Let's Yeah, we can't talk about that. Let's see what she doing. Nah, we can't talk about that either. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Can't talk about none of this stuff. Give me a second here, y'all. Give me a second. No. Uh-uh. Man. Do I have any other? Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right. I'm not doing it. Wait a minute. Who is this? Oh man, this ain't nobody. The hell? Okay. I ain't doing all that. I'm not doing all that. Okay, so yeah, man, hold up. All right, my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault. Okay, so I guess we can talk about this. The Matrix, Lauren Fishburne does not like his daughter, Montel Fishburne, after she immediately went into the corn industry after turning 18 and went against the legacies and teachings. Man, I haven't heard of his daughter in a minute. I don't even know what his daughter. Hey, look. Hey, yeah. All right, look. I don't know. Maybe she mean, I haven't heard from her from interviews or anything like that, but hey, look, just, you're an adult, you do whatever you want to do. Okay? You do whatever you want to do. Okay? You know, everybody's ground here. Everybody ground here. Hold up. I'm gonna get some Canada Dry. But I haven't heard nothing about her since she went into the corn industry. And that's been many moons ago. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she's, doing interviews or she has done anything outside of that. Last time I heard about her, she was not in the right place. I think she was homeless at one time. I don't know. I don't know nothing about her. But hey, to each his own. Neo, fourth sister wife, got his eyes tattooed on her forearm in an attempt to win points and to be his favorite. Hey, to be his favorite. Hey, Neo is living it up. He's living it up. All right. Neo said he's tired of an average life. An average life to Neo is a boring life. Most guys, would probably want a wife, want to settle down, want to have a house, want to have kids. Even his baby mama, at one point they were married, but they're separated. She did an interview and talked about, and she's not a bad looking woman. You can tell that, this was him all along, and he was trying to introduce her to this lifestyle. Obviously, she didn't want to do that, and now they're separated, and now Neo is living his best life. You know what I'm saying? He's got all these girls. Hey, boy, salute. You want to do that stuff? Hey, that's on you. All right. And if that makes you happy, that's fine. If it makes them happy, that's fine as well. I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. Right? I know there's gonna be some people that's gonna say that's immoral to do. You shouldn't. You should be tied down to one woman and one girl, whatever. Some people, they like this lifestyle and this lifestyle fits them. And to other people, this lifestyle don't fit as well. But I guarantee there's a large community of men that if they can have this lifestyle, if they had the funds to fund this type of lifestyle, they would choose this lifestyle. Okay. But hey, whatever. It is what it is. All right. So water burgers, which, by the way, we have a Waterburgers where I'm from, but it's so mad far. I mean, is it even worth driving all the way out there to taste one of their burgers? I mean, if I'm in that area, I might stop and try it, but whatever. Waterburgers hired a woman on probation. She's now wanted for a identity fraud. Felony identity theft after using customers' cards to pay her $400 probation fee. And you look at her mugshot, it's like, man, she's smiling in front of the camera saying, yeah, I did it. She's saying, yeah, I did it. So what? What you gonna do about it? Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. So she cool with it. So let's look at the comments here. Committing a crime to getting out of one is crazy. That is crazy work in itself. All right. You charge for a crime and you feel like the best way to get out of that situation is to involve yourself in a totally different crime. Okay. Hey, whatever. Hey, you like it. I love it. Okay. Can't help people who commit an existing below average quality. What a dumbass. She didn't want to get locked up. She didn't want to get locked back up. She had to roll the dice. I don't blame her. I don't know. What type of common sense is that? You're already in trouble. All right. I understand you don't want to go back to jail, but if you think it's a good idea to commit a crime and somehow committing that crime is going to keep you out of jail from a previous crime, that's some crazy work, dog. If you can talk yourself, if you can convince yourself of that, then more power to you. Any takers, Dark or Dank, Demon announced that she isn't gay anymore and recently started liking men after suing Lyft. She said she would still smash women, but nothing past that. That's that big girl that was in the news a couple of weeks ago. Been living on the rock like about to explain. Basically, this woman, I'm gonna show this picture. No, it won't let you. No, it ain't gonna let you do it. No, hold up. All right, so this big woman right here, 2 tons of fun. All right, so this big heifer right here is suing Lyft, right? Because she ordered a Lyft driver to come pick her up. And the Lyft driver said that he felt like he couldn't do it because she's too big. Now, I'm not familiar with Lyft. I don't know how Lyft operates or run. I don't know if drivers can refuse picking up passengers. Now, if you're here's my thing. I think there's a limit to everything. I think you can refuse picking up passengers if they're drunk or they have toxic behavior. But I ain't never heard of not picking up a passenger because of her waist size. All right. And maybe that's some language they're going to probably put in the contracts of these independent operators, because that's what they are. If you work for Lyft, you're a contact driver. You're independent. All right. So if that's what they're going to do in the near future, now you can't say I don't want to pick up somebody because of their skin color, or you don't want to pick up somebody because of their gender, or you don't want to pick up somebody because of their religion. Because now you're going to open a Pandora's box, and when you bust them doors open, people are going to be refusing people for all different types of reasons. All right. There's levels to this. If you got a small car, and I think personally, this is what Lyft should do in their app. When you make a profile, you should have your age, your height, how much you weigh. I don't care about your nationality or your religion or your gender, or none of that. But I think Lyft should have in the profile, in your profile, the driver would know, okay, this person is 7 foot tall, or this person is 300, 400 pounds. All right. And then it's up to the driver to say, I don't, you can just do it right on the app. Like, either you're busy or you're offline, make it kind of PC. All right. If you want to do that. All right. Or have the picture of, I thought a lot of these Lyft drivers, I thought how the app goes, if you're requesting a ride, they should know what you look like. Okay. They should know how tall you are, at least know how tall you are. Or I don't know about how heavy you are, but whatever. But yeah, I don't think you can sue a company that didn't. First of all, is this discrimination? Is this discrimination? refusing to take a passenger you believe that is too heavy or couldn't fit your vehicle. Okay. And hey, look, it's getting her some rounds on the internet. You know, people still talking about her. Now she's gone on into something else. I don't know how this is going to break down. I don't know if she's got a leg on this case, but hey, whatever. All right. Video services of Andrew Tate allegedly. Yeah. It looks like Andrew Tate with hair, but I don't know. Allegedly assaulting a call girl. I don't want to talk about that. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Manager crash out after seeing her taxes. What this is about? All right, yeah, well. Now she's going through that whole thing. She just picking and choosing. Yeah, but you know, hey, look here, man. Look, I feel you. I feel you. Taxes on mother level, all right? Especially if you do overtime. Like I just filed my taxes this week. I think it was on a Monday. I filled my taxes, and my tax preparer saying, "Oh, you didn't work that many hours like you worked last year." And I was, saying, "Yeah, I didn't get a lot of overtime." No, she said, "Yeah, you didn't work a lot of overtime. I mean, you didn't work a lot of hours like you did, yeah, last year." And I said, "Yeah, I slacked back on the overtime. I didn't get an opportunity to get a lot of overtime." Uh, and she said, "Yeah, because if you'd have maintained getting so much overtime, you'd have been probably in a different tax bracket." Okay. And I missed that next tax bracket by that much. Okay. I got some overtime, but I didn't get a lot of overtime. But I was getting mad overtime 2 years ago. Like every week I was getting overtime. I was getting crazy overtime. I was getting like 20 hours, 30 hours worth of overtime, which is good money. But at a certain point, like there's this dude at my workplace, and you might as well just transition into something else because yeah. So it's story time. We're gonna do some story time here. Let me get out of this. Yeah, there's this dude at my workplace. 3 years ago, he was getting like he was on a hunt of getting 100 hours worth of overtime. Now he would average like 70, maybe 80 hours worth of overtime, which is extremely a lot of overtime. All right. And I was telling him, I said, "Yo, dude, if you keep this pace going, then you're going to be a red flag to corporate, and then corporate is going to lay the hammer down on the managers here, and then they're going to start cutting everybody's overtime because you're getting mad overtime. You're getting like 80 hours. I mean, you're getting like 30 extra hours on top of the 40. Like you get 40." And he was getting like 8. He was averaging almost like 80 hours. And 30 of that, okay, 40, 50, 60, yeah, like 30 plus hours is going to be considered overtime. And then two, I was telling him at a certain point, the IRS is going to tax you even more for that overtime. So it's going to be almost like you was working for free. But he didn't care because he was getting a big check. So he was getting his overtime and he was having extra money on the side. Like, look, he doesn't have children. He's not interested in having a female. He's good in the hood for just coming to work, working over, and then going home, playing video games, watching movies, door dashing. He was door dashing every day. I mean, every day. All right. So he would constantly get this overtime, and then he would have money in the bank because, like I said, he didn't have no kid. He wasn't interested in a relationship. He wasn't interested in no females. I don't think he was, swinging the other way. But even if he was swinging the other way, he wasn't even interested in that either. He was cool just going home whenever he got the opportunity to go home, DoorDash, play video games, watch TV in no particular order. All right, so he's getting this crazy overtime. What did I tell you? It was almost a year. Corporate came down, started coming down on the store managers and the assistant managers. They're saying like your store is getting way too much overtime. Okay, way too much overtime. All right. And they didn't have a logical reason why they was giving away so much overtime. So corporate was telling them like, yo, y'all gonna have to chill on this overtime. Y'all gonna have to eliminate it to, at one point you can get some overtime. And then some time passed after that, they were saying, oh no, y'all can't get no overtime. So everybody can only work 40 hours. You have to have your 2 days off. No 6. Because if you work 6 days, you get 6-day pay. All right. Plus the overtime. And if you work 7 days, that's even more money. But like I said, once again, the IRS is going to take some of that, going to take a little bit more. So yeah, they was telling them, no more overtime. So they just got to a point where nobody could get any overtime. And it'd be moments where you probably gonna have to stay over to finish a job or finish a task. Okay, you might stay an hour over, maybe 2, but at least an hour over to get finished with your stuff. It gotten so bad we couldn't even stay over. Like you work your 8, and the manager was basically telling us what's left over. This is what's left over. You got to do it the next day because we couldn't get overtime. Okay, and you had to take your 2 days off. So everybody was on page. Everybody was on board with that. All right, because nobody wanted no trouble. Guess the one person that wasn't on board with that, the person that started this thing. He was still trying to get over. He was swindling the system, so to say. He would get the approval from an assistant manager, even though the store manager said, hey, look, no more overtime. But then he knew how to play the game. He knew there was certain assistant managers that didn't want to work. They wanted to just sit in the office. So he preyed on that, like, hey, look, instead of you, working, you can go back to the office and I can finish this up. And they go like, oh, yeah, that's great. So they'll go back to the office. But see, they're not supervising him. They thinking that he's only going to be there for like 5 or 10 minutes. He ends up staying like an extra 3 or 4 hours. Well, it got to the point where they had to write him up. They had to write him up saying, hey, look, we told you no overtime. And you still keep getting overtime. And he kept saying, well, so-and-so said that I can stay over. And then the store manager would jump on the assistant manager, and then the assistant manager go like, well, whoa. He said he will stay over. I told him he can only stay over for like 5 to 10 minutes until he get that first thing. When he get that first task done, he can go home. Right? Like the cart. Once he finished the cart, he can go. I didn't know that he would stay 4 or 5 hours on the clock. But once again, they got jumped on. All right. And then they had to write him up. So now he's so infuriated and so ticked off, he don't want to work no more overtime. Even when there's an opportunity to get a little overtime, he don't want to do it. All right. Because they don't wrote him up too many times. Okay. So now like that whole management staff is gone. That old regime is gone. They done transferred them to other Kroger stores. They done transferred, the store manager to a store where the corporate heads are there. All right. And that whole regime is over. It's over and done with. All right. Now this new regime, they on point. They play by the book. When they say no overtime, no overtime. All right. But they will have their favorites. They will have their favorites. Like they will let this one individual get a lot of overtime. Now, it's two of them. Now, and at first, everything was okay. Until, we had the snow scares, unusual business business would go up. And now you're giving these two individuals like 60, 70 hours, all right? And there's been times where you have to also give overtime to people who stayed over, all right? And then got to the point where now, he's on the hot seat, right? So now he done made it so where nobody can get overtime. I mean, nobody can get overtime, all right? So now that, there's no overtime, and, it gotten so bad where the guy that I work with got upset because he couldn't get no overtime. He's like, well, wait a minute, so-and-so told me, he promised me that I can get overtime. And the assistant managers are telling him, like, yo, dude, the store manager need to quit promising all of y'all this overtime because it's getting so hard. We can't even hide hours anymore. All right. So every department is budgeted for hours. All right. It done gotten so bad. The people, the departments are getting less hours than they had in previous years. So now there's no overtime. No overtime. They ain't playing around with that overtime stuff, dude. I don't, to me, I look at it like this. If you can't live off 40 hours, you may can get 44, maybe 45. And if you lucky, in certain instances, you can probably get 50. But dude, if you can't manage your money off of 40 hours, then you tricking off your money. Like this dude that's the manager of our department, not only he gets, he's been there long. He not only he's been there longer than the rest of us, so he's already making more money than everybody in our department. He's making more money than me. Then on top of that, he gets lead pay because he's a lead, so he gets money for that. Then on top of that, he works at night. He works overnight. He gets money for working overnight. Okay. And then on top of that, he getting overtime pay. All right. So now they done made it where nobody can get overtime. All right. And now he's ticked off. Well, I don't understand why I can't get overtime and they're letting so-and-so get overtime. And, and I'm going like, dude, like the reason why, he's probably getting overtime because he's your boss. You ever thought of that? He's your boss. So of course, now I agree with him. I don't think he works hard to get that overtime. 9 times out of 10, he's probably just standing around, but they're giving him the overtime because he has to oversee the whole entire department and he's your boss. Okay. Now, as far as the other dude go, he may have a legit gripe. He's like, yo, they hired him and they promised him like he can get overtime. Well, promises can be broken. All right. You really don't have a legal excuse to continue to give him overtime when there's no overtime. He's just going to accept the facts that you don't have no overtime. It's going to get to a point where if the sales continue to go the way they're going, Now everyone's making excuses talking about, well, it's a slow month, it's a slow time of the year, and yada yada yada. But if it continues this pace, it's going to get to a point where everybody's going to have to work 5 days, and you can't cut someone who's full time because they're guaranteed 40 hours. Rain, sleet, snow, holidays, birthday, your birthday, Jesus' birthday, 365, they're slotted in for 40. Now, you can mess around with the hours of the part-timers because you're not obligated to give a part-time worker 40 hours or even 32 hours, right? So you can do that for a part-timer, but then if you do that, you run the risk of running that part-timer away. Then what you gonna do? See, because if it's not for the parts, see, if you don't give hours to your part-timers and they all quit, then who's going to work those hours if the full-timers can't work overtime? So it's like a delicate balance. You got to get into where you fit in. And a lot of it, hey, you wouldn't be in the predicament that you're in if, one, you pick and choose who gets overtime. And two, you orchestrate it to the point where you make it manageable for the full-timers to get their job done. So if you're cutting orders, even though there's orders coming and you're cutting orders and you're cutting the opportunities of days, the amount of days you can get an order, that all plays a part in sales. And if you don't have orders coming in every day to meet the demand, the sales demand, there's not going to be a demand because people are going to eventually go somewhere else to do their business. They're like, yo, I'm tired of coming in here. I came in here last week, you didn't have it. I come in this week, you don't have it. So you know what? I'm done coming. Okay. Yeah, you made it easier for the full-timers to get their job done. Yeah, you made it easier for the part-timers to just fill in certain departments to get certain departments done. But in essence, you made it so where it affects the sales, and people are not going to keep constantly coming in if you don't have the product, because you have to cancel this product to take care of that product. So hey, whatever, it is what it is. That's story times. So yeah. Oh, let me see. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, But yeah, I'm gonna try to crank these things out. I'm gonna try to do 2 live streams a day. I feel like I can do 2. The reason why I couldn't do 2 live streams this week is because of scheduling conflicts. So I couldn't do 2 live streams. And hey, it happened. But I should be able to do 2 next week. I'm gonna try to shoot for Monday and Friday mornings. So I'm trying to shoot for a live stream in the beginning of the week, and then I'm going to shoot for another live stream closer to the end of the week, which is Friday. It would be great if I can do a live stream every day, but hey, and maybe I can cut segments of these live streams and make them into videos. I'm gonna get into that bag. Like when this one is uploaded, I'm gonna cut portions of this live stream, have them for the weekend or for early next week or for whenever. Support the channel, subscribe. Check out my YouTube shorts. Man, I be killing them YouTube shorts. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get back into doing videos. Um, the type of content, I'm not sure. I want to do something different. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep talking about topics and things of that nature. That's what the live streams are for. I told y'all guys a couple of weeks ago, I'm thinking about bringing back the podcast, but I'm not feeling that. I did like over 100 episodes of Too Early for This podcast, and yeah, it did its thing. But to me, and it got views. But to me, two things. One, I don't think the demand for podcasting is great. The forecasts for podcasts are not good. And I've seen a lot of podcasts struggle last year and the year before. Because I think there's of two reasons. One, I think there's an oversaturation of podcasts. Now everybody's got a podcast. Okay. It's too many podcasts, not enough viewers or listeners. Okay. So the space for podcasting is oversaturated. That's one. Two, and this is only in my circle, but two, I don't think there's a good time for me to do a podcast. And I try to do it. I did it super early in the morning. I got numbers, but I felt like Too Early for This podcast, even though we was getting the viewership, even though we was getting subscribers, it just didn't do what I thought it was going to do and should be able to do. I saw growth, but I didn't see huge growth, if you understand what I'm saying. So I came to the conclusion, if I do Too Early for This podcast, it'll be only in audio form. And Too Early for This podcast is on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's wherever you get your podcast listening enjoyment from. And as far as video form, I'm not going to continue to do a video form. Because there was points where I was doing an audio portion of Too Early for This podcast, and then I was doing a live feed of Too Early for This podcast. And there were like two different forms of media. So yeah, I made the decision not to do Too Early for This podcast. If I'm sorry if it offends people, I'm sorry, but you can still enjoy it on audio portion. I just don't know when I'm gonna start doing episodes. And will I do them once a month? I feel like it's best to do them once a month on audio because I just don't see the growth. Even there's even a smaller growth in audio form. So until I see some growth, I might change the schedule, but I might do one once a month. All right. So that's, people were hitting me up on social media talking about, hey man, we gonna do Too Early for This podcast. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to pump the brakes on Too Early for This podcast on YouTube. But I will continue to do it in audio form, and I'm gonna give it a trial. I'm gonna do a test trial, and do one once a month. See what it does, see what it do. All right. It seemed like when I was doing Too Early for This podcast on audio form, it seemed like the best content is original content from stories or whatever. So we'll wait and see. We'll mingle, mix it up, see what we do. I can do what it can do. Okay. But yeah, so unless someone else got something to say to me, I appreciate the likes. I do hope you guys subscribe to me. Subscribe and enjoy. You will not be disappointed. like I said, after I do my topic, I want to take time to interact with you guys. Seems like nobody has nothing to say. Or maybe you're in a situation where you can't type. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're in school. Whatever the case may be. I get it. I understand. At least you're listening to me. At least you're watching me. That's the key point to all that. So yeah. So I'm gonna let this run for like another 5 minutes, and then if there's no comments, your boy gonna just call it a day. That's all your boy can do. So yeah. Um, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. Really do appreciate everyone coming by. I hope y'all like how I got this set up. I'm gonna keep this same setup and just do what it do there. But I will talk to you guys. Hopefully, I'll do another live Monday. I'm gonna try to do two. Really try to do two lives. Two live crew is what we are. But I'm gonna really try to do 2 live streams a week. If I can do more, I'll do more. Then I'll chop them up during the week and then into the weekend. So yeah. I will talk to you guys later. Later, Gators. Really do appreciate everyone coming by. I really do appreciate the likes. I hope you guys shared this with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Hit the subscription button. And while you're hitting the subscription button, hit the notification bell so it'll let you know when my next live stream video or YouTube short goes down. All right? It's your boy. I'm up out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.